Good evening, degenerates, and welcome back to a very special Degen Hours episode, College Football Playoff National Championship.
Oh, yeah.
We have covered every game since week 0.
I know.
Yeah.
There's one game remaining.
Wow.
Michigan, Washington.
We made it.
We made it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Without further
It's been a
ado,
journey.
let's talk some championship football. The national championship game is played at NRG Stadium in Texas.
Yeah.
Huge game. Huge game in Houston.
You could say that.
You almost had a home game with your Houston, or with your Houston
Very close.
Texans, with your Longhorns. I was close. You almost got there. But no, it's Michigan. It's Washington. The spread, Michigan minus 4.5, total 55.5. Mario, kick us off. Tell us everything you like in this game. Side, total, anything, props.
Yeah. I mean, first off, thank God Washington won. Finally, I have a team to root for in this national championship. No offense, Mike. I didn't want Texas to win.
I don't care about you.
And I really didn't want Alabama to win, didn't want Michigan to win. The only team in the Final Four I was like, I can root for them, get behind.
Washington.
Is Washington, Michael Penix. So that being said, Washington plus 4.5 is the side I will be on. Simply because, like I said, they're going to have the best quarterback out there in any game in this playoff. And, they're in the national championship because of him. I like the over 55.5 as well. I just think Michigan, somehow, some way, they just find a way to put up points. It's not pretty. It's just kind of like a grind you down kind of offense, like nothing flashy, but they just move the chains consistently. Get the Blake Corum, 6-yard run here. JJ McCarthy, 5-yard completion. They just
He loves them for 5
and I mean that offense on Washington, dude, it's just electric. I mean, Odunze was kind of slowed down for like 3 quarters. But Polk was going off. And then, McMillan gets involved, and all of a sudden, they start focusing on them. Then Odunze, 2 routes where he's one-on-one. One is like a 40-yard completion. Another one, he's wide open. The DB has to do a PI.
Yeah.
Just because it actually would have.
And Penix is throwing the ball beautifully.
Beautifully.
Like, unbelievably well.
I mean, that ball to Polk in, I think, the second quarter, it was like a 42-yard completion where literally he's on a sprint, and he just has to do this. And I mean, it's just like perfect.
Filthy.
It's just easy to root for the guy. Some props. I do love Polk over 53.5 receiving yards. I think similar thing. I know he went off last game, but all the coverage and all the focus is still going to be on Odunze. I mean, you have to slow him down. You don't want him to be the guy who kills you because, that's what he's done all season.
Yeah.
So that being said, I also love Odunze under 93.5 receiving yards. I just feel like it's a weird spot where, maybe he has 80, maybe he has 90. I don't know. I just think he kind of gets slowed down a bit. Also love Donovan Edwards under on his rush yard total. Don't know. Yeah, shout out Tyler for that. Yeah. Tyler gave me that because, great point he pointed out. They never use him.
They don't give him the ball.
In big games.
No.
Had 4 rushes last game. They heavily lean on Corum. So that being said, I love Corum over his 101 rush yards as well.
Wow.
Because I do think Texas played into Washington's strength a bit in a game where if you're going to put a team away, you want to out-physical them, and passing on Washington, Ewers was not effective. I don't care what he finished with. For 3 quarters of that game, they could not pick up a first down. And I think the way you beat Washington is you kind of bully them. The O-line on Michigan, they're big boys, Corum, tough running back. They're just going to grind them down. So I think eventually that's going to wear on them. Corum picks up the rush yards. So that's everything I got for this game.
Very nice.
Crazy.
Michael.
All right, Mike.
Anyway, so picking up where Mario left off with the bullying, I will say the one thing that I noticed when watching the games yesterday, on Monday, is that Michigan defensive line is unbelievably stout. And I don't think that, although Texas had a very good defensive line, our inability to get back there, put any type of pressure on Penix, I don't think that's going to be the story for this Michigan game. I definitely think that Michigan is going to just kind of slow Penix down. He's not going to have even nearly the type of story that he had for the season or what he had on the semifinals. With that being said, I also noticed that Washington's biggest hole and their biggest gap in defense is that their run game. We put 180 rushing yards on their head, and that's with a rookie in CJ. And Blake Corum is honestly, he's like pretty much Jonathan Brooks level. He's arguably the best running back in the nation right now. So taking Corum over 101 rushing yards, obviously this isn't really a pick, but Corum anytime touchdown is minus 360. You're gonna take that. I really like McMillan on Washington. I thought he showed up, showed out, and kind of made a name for himself. So I'm going to take McMillan over 61.5 receiving yards, and then Michigan minus the 4.5 and the under 55.5.
Well, there you have it.
Thanks, wow.
Yeah, I'm not riding with Michigan at all. I knew they would win last week. I absolutely hammered Michigan. Washington is the type of team where Mario summed it up best last week. He said Penix is just a winner. That's all he said. Yep. This is what Tate and I have been saying since preseason. We pick Washington every single week this week, pretty much. They've been underdogs 3 of the last 4 games. Yep. 1 outright. They're underdogs again. I've said all year, if they keep giving you Washington money line plus points or money line like juice, you have to take it. Yep. You have to take it. You have to take it. And I absolutely love the plus 4.5. Yep. I don't think they get blown out here. This is an interesting little stat. The favorite has won and covered the Natty each of the last 4 seasons. Wow. Before that, they have not covered 6 consecutive years. Whoa. So things go in patterns. I think this year that breaks the pattern. It was all because it was basically just Georgia, and then it was Bama and LSU. Yeah. So it was like there was no number that you could put in those games that were.
That's fair.
Like I forget what last year what it was. It was massive.
Teams,
yeah, last year was massive. 14-point spread. Georgia won 65-7.
Oh my God.
There was no spread in the world you could put that they wouldn't cover that.
Yeah.
I think Michigan and Washington are not as different of teams as people think they are, and they have the best players. So I love Penix, love Washington. The sharp side looks like the under. A lot of money on the under with a lot of bets on the over, but I love the over. Yep. I'll be a square picking Penix over points all the time.
Pretty good bet.
Yeah,
Every
and then
game.
Couple props. Penix threw for 430 last week, over 297 this week. Donovan Edwards under rushing yards, whatever you can get it at, just under that. And then my heaviest prop bet, Romo Dunze over the 93.5
I like it.
receiving
I like
yards.
it.
And I like Romo Dunze first touchdown plus 700.
Ooh, that's some juice right there.
So that's everything I'm taking. Go Washington.
That's a wild.
Bet the money line. You'll thank yourself later.
Rings down, horns out.
Yeah. First off, I'm going to agree with the sharp part of it. That I think I love the under in this game. Very big. Under 55.5.
It's the sharp side.
Yeah, I just think it should be a good game, but Michigan's not going to give up. Michael Penix is absolutely amazing. I think he should have won Heisman,
Yes.
but I don't think Michigan's going to give up a ton of points. And I think it'll be a close game. That being said, I just think the only thing, I think in all the games Penix played in this year that were close games, it was against defenses that were good and offenses that were like compatible with the defense. Like they slowed them down, they game managed. Like the weird game, like Oregon State games where it's like their defense showed up. It was a close game, they won. Arizona games, close game, they won. Arizona State, you know what I mean? It was close games. Texas, I mean, if you don't touch Michael Penix, the best quarterback in the league, he's going to absolutely there's nothing to it.
And he did that.
And I think Michigan showed last week that they're kind of like Venables in the idea of like psycho when it comes to blitzing.
They blitz.
I mean, they blitzed
It was awesome.
No, I loved it.
11 dive.
That was
No,
kinda awesome,
and
though,
I think that's how you in college football. That's how you win.
We're scared of the pass.
That's what I'm saying. Those throws that Michael Penix are making. If you hit him early in the game, he might think about them or might not make them. So I just think Michigan's defense comes out firing and blitzing. And hey, maybe Penix is just that guy and beats him. But I'm gonna roll with Michigan minus 4.5 just because last 4-season trend I was gonna bring up actually. I think it's gonna go 6-6. So the next year will happen too.
Ooh.
I think I like the pattern idea. So I'm gonna go Michigan minus 4.5. Couple of the sprinkle props you're gonna love. I liked your Odunze. I'm gonna go Tybo Rogers, the guy backing up Johnson who got hurt on Washington, the running back.
Is he playing?
He's playing, but I think they're gonna do like if they need to use him, two backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was plus 800, so I like the little sprinkle for the first touchdown.
Oh, first touchdown.
Yeah, first touchdown scorer, Tybo Rogers.
Tybo Rogers.
Yes.
What a name.
He had
name.
the second most carries last week, and he came in. But yeah, I like him a lot, and I just think that Washington, weird thing, I think Washington does score first. And then Michigan's very good at adapting, and they're going to have like adjustments. I think they'll slow them down after that. I also have anytime touchdown scorers, Roman Wilson at plus 165. That guy gets in the end zone somehow for Michigan every time. Did it last week on the game tying to go into overtime. And then I also have J.J. McCarthy rushing touchdown. plus 330. One of those inside handoffs where they fake it to
Like an
him.
option.
Yeah, and
Keeps
like
it.
everyone goes
He does
before
run
him
pretty
and he
well.
walks in. He runs very well. And I'm matching that with his over rushing yards, 18 and a half. I think Washington's defense isn't good at all. Like nothing. And I think Michigan's going to do what they want rushing. I think McCarthy's going to be able easy rushing. And that's why I'm doing Corum over 101 rushing yards like you guys.
Ooh.
I think it's just free. Texas did it to them. Washington hasn't stopped it all year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to start this game. So I love that. And then I'm doing the Michigan tight end Loveland over 36 and a half receiving yards. Michigan's just, I think they're going to play one of those handoff, quick out routes to the tight end. Big game for the tight end. So yeah, I just like Michigan in this spot. I just think the 4 for 4 in the last 4 seasons is going to go to 5. So.
You got to flip it.
Yeah,
It's too
it
much
could be
Jordan.
flipped.
It's
No,
too
it
much
could be.
Jordan.
I love it.
I love it. All right. Well, for this game, I mean, you got to be silly if you think I'm not going to take it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Attaboy.
I mean, it's with my preseason everything. I mean, dude, last time ever to ride with a Pac-12 team in the
That's
national
fair.
That's
championship,
pretty
dude.
electric.
What a way to go out.
What
That's
a way to
pretty
go
electric.
out. I mean,
With a win.
why not with a win? I mean,
With a win.
that would just be awesome.
It's scripted. It's in the script.
Dude, it's in the script. But I do have to say that Michigan has not faced an offense like this year. Not at all.
Nope.
Their defense has been number one in all of college football, but they have not faced an offense like Washington. They've not faced a Pac-12 team. I mean, and Washington is clearly the premier of the Pac-12 teams. And I just continue. I like Tyler. I'm going to be a square. I'm going to bet the over because I think there's no way. I mean, Washington's going to put a point. They do every game somehow.
I think so, too.
And I think, I love the idea of, Washington. If Michigan just blitzes all the time and they get to Penix, I mean, we watch them do a lot of, random little screen passes. Quickly, boom, right to the screen for, 15, 20
That
yards.
was something they said. Penix gets the ball out extremely quick.
Yeah,
Doesn't hold on to it very long.
so
That's
it's-
why he's one of the least sacked quarterbacks in college.
I was going to say, if Michigan goes up 2 scores early, like I said, this is with Texas, the same thing. If they go up 2 scores early, it's going to be very tough for Washington to come back and win the football game.
Yeah.
But if Washington is fighting early, it's going to be close the whole game, and they're going to have a chance to win the game. I love Michael Penix. I love you, Michael Penix. This is just
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
I wish you won Heisman.
Pac-12 baby. Let's go out with a bang. I'm a Pac-12 man myself, but for the player props, we're gonna go Jalen Polk over 53 receiving yards. I mean, he balled out last week. I don't see why he wouldn't do it again. I love them just playing defense on their best receiver and then letting the other guys fly. And then Rowan Wilson over 44 and a half receiving yards. I mean, we saw it last week. He had 3 catches, but he hit this easily because they were both for 30 yards.
That's every Penix
So
loves doing
if he
that,
can,
yeah.
if JJ McCarthy can get Rowan Wilson for two catches to complete his over receiving yards, I mean that's if he gets 3 or 4, it's just
he just finds a way every game.
No, that's
Yeah.
true.
So just those 2 little, but shout out Washington. It's gonna be a big win this week.
Shout out Washington.
Natties.
There you have
That's
it.
crazy.
Enjoy the national championship.
got
everyone.
one more to go.
One game. That was all of our picks, all the
Holy
props,
smokes.
everything we're betting. Before we
End with a
leave,
bang,
Tate,
baby.
tell the people what they need to do.
Oh, the last Pac-12 game of the entire
So sad.
forever.
Welcome to the Big
Pac-12 will never be back ever again. Washington, my friends right here, Michael Penix, Romo Dunze, let's get it done. Boys, comment, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and share our channel with a friend so you can get some free money. Let's go.
Happy New Year's. Enjoy the
Happy
Natty.
New Year's.